and let us all do we can to build a better future.
But occasionally I get a message where it's like, hey, you read my mind. I want to give a huge shout out to this Patriot supporter, Kyle, who said, hey, did you see this interview with Brianna Joy Gay and Kshama Sawant? In which Kshama Sawant calls out AOC for, let's face it, the hypocrite that she is. This isn't easy for me to talk about because I remember in 2018, I remember AOC's first campaign. I remember that there was some inkling of hope, I know. But as time progressed, as Daniel and I were covering more and more stories in regards to the lead up of the 2020 election, and then afterwards, I think I could safely speak for every one of you in the audience and my colleagues here at Hard Lens Media. Disappointment is an understatement in regards to AOC. How she has compromised and betrayed her quote-unquote values. How she's dismissed the progressive movement, the independents that put her into power. How she has quickly become another cog in the Democratic establishment machine, and how she's on this super fast rush of censorship. Yeah, she seems to be on this warpath of saying deplatforming works. Now, look, Tucker Carlson is going to be fine. He's going to be okay. He's going to land on his feet. But as for other people in independent media, well, I don't think AOC cares that much, even though that's how she got her name. That's right. AOC was on the Jimmy Dore show. Oh, that must burn her the wrong way. AOC, you were on the Jimmy Dore show. AOC was also on TYT, and she doesn't even show up on that show anymore. So I want to pull this conversation up. And I definitely want to give a shout out to a Patriot supporter, Kyle, who brought this to my attention. Again, Brianna Joy Gray, AOC versus Kshama Sawant. Here, listen to this. And after I'm done playing this video, you're going to see AOC's own hypocrisy too. And I need to ask yourselves, and I think something we should have in regards to the conversation in regards to who AOC is. And maybe let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 if you think AOC was authentic and still believes that she's doing the right thing. That she really feels in the heart she knows what she's doing, and she's got this big plan to help us all out. Type 2 if no, she got into power and became part of the establishment. She has her own agenda. It's her, not us.
She is dismissive of what she calls spontaneous digital response versus the actual worker. So she's being condescending towards in a very defensive way. Obviously, she's on the defensive, condescending towards the just critique and anger that was directed against her when she and other members of the squad, excluding Rashida Tlaib, voted for the strike-breaking bill. And so, that's one thing we have to point out, that how dare she just dismiss ordinary people, millions of people who were absolutely livid. Like, you don't have to be a railroad worker to be livid about this, because if you have any sense of how it goes for the working class, is that if any strike loses, it's actually bad for the working class as a whole. So we all have a stake in winning the strike. And we were just talking about that a little while ago, about why it is important that worker strike back is bringing up this question of how do you build that kind of solid unity that doesn't cross the picket line and stands with every strike action, no matter which section of the working class or which union it is. And so that in itself is a fundamental problem. But then the bigger problem is the bald-facedness with which she calls a strike-breaking vote as a difference in strategy.
Again, AOC has this wonderful word salad in which she can defend her actions. In the following videos that I'll be playing afterwards, really, look at the words that AOC says. I know I asked everyone to vote on how they feel about AOC, but from my perspective and from her own actions, this is the way for her to build up her career. She's waiting in wings until she can be her own mama bear. I can't remember who posted. I think it might have been Matt Orfala. It was a collage video where AOC was calling to raise the ruckus, to, always stand up, to call her out. But when she was called out by Jose Vega, she was told that, she told him that he was being rude. Or wait a minute. I remember AOC one time saying she's okay being a one-term House representative. My oh my, to quote Michael Scott, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is not a difference in strategy. This is a straight up betrayal of working people. And I think it's important that we note that, I mean, it was, at that time, it was a little unfortunate that the Railroad Workers United didn't make it clear that I think they may have bought into this idea of two bill strategy, whatever. But as Socialist Alternative pointed out from the very first moment, this was a Trojan horse. This whole fanciful notion of, let's get a vote on this, and let's get a vote on let's get a vote on the sick leave bill, and let's get a vote on the TA bill, and then that way maybe you can win. I mean, who are they kidding? Like you already said, they already had votes for the TA, which the workers had already rejected, and the whole question of bringing these two bills, that was complete dishonesty.
Now, first of all, shout out to Brianna Joy Gray for doing that fantastic interview with Kshama Sawant. We've actually interviewed Kshama Sawant too in the past as well. And I have to say, folks, again, we need to start being aggressive towards these politicians. Enough with the kid gloves. Enough of being polite. And the thing is, I think more Americans are waking up to the fact of who AOC is. She could wear a Met Gala. I said Met Gala. Apologies for that. Met Gala event dress. It says tax the rich, or wear a t-shirt. It says tax the rich. But honestly, what is authentic about this? Plus, it's kind of a little pricey for that t-shirt. But hey, look, whatever. It is what it is. But the thing is, AOC, look, actions speak louder than words.
Shout out to my fellow radicals in the United States who believe crazy.
Bro, we do not claim you. Like, you betrayed the railroad workers. You abstained from condemning Israel and betrayed Palestinians. You faked crying in Prada in front of detainment facilities. You went to one of the most bourgeois events in history, wearing a high-value dress saying "Eat the Rich." You voted in line with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, one of which, mind you, literally does insider trading. You've capitulated endless concessions to the bourgeois and use yourself faking socialism to elevate yourself into popularity. You haven't petitioned.
And also, still is the darling for the DSA. Can't believe I wasted my time covering that convention at DSA way back in 2018. Daniel, I really felt sorry for Daniel, because the thing is, there was a couple of times we had interviews set up, and Daniel had the camera all set up, and then the people who we were interviewing at DSA just are like, I don't want to get interviewed, and all that work that Daniel did, just whoosh, gone like that. Mandatory thumbs up for my colleague Daniel. Oh boy.
Petition for general strikes. Haven't encouraged your constituents to withhold their votes. I don't hear you saying things like housing is a human right, nutrition is a human right. Barely hear you talk about healthcare anymore. You are not a radical. You're a liberal. You're not one of us. You act like you care so you can profit off of it.
Now, the thing is, hey, how can I argue with that? I mean, you think that's a burn? Check this out here. Again, AOC's own words, but I think it's important that we see them with our own eyes here. Shout out to everyone's favorite comrade, Comrade Misty, Sarcasm Stardust. Spoiler alert, she's not going to do a damn thing other than make overly dramatic speeches, sign strongly worded letters, and tweet. What would Medicare for All do for your family? What would student debt forgiveness mean to you? Now, these are tweets that sound good, but come on. It's AOC. It's easier you crap or you get off the pot. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, we are going to get our guns out of schools if it's the last thing we do. Okay. Okay, AOC. We're going to save the planet. It's the last thing we do. Okay. Planet's going to be fine without us. To quote George Carlin, it's going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas. We are going to guarantee health care. Oh, remember force to vote? Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. Don't spit out your coffee just yet. If you did, I'm sorry. We are going to guarantee health care in this country, and we will not stop until we do. Oh. You tell them, AOC.
The vote was just called by the Republican Party to cut our services across the board, cut veterans' health care across the board, cut our health care across the board, cut climate action across the board. And when the vote was passed, there was a thunderous applause by the
This is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
Republican Party, cheering on that they were stripping and starving kids and veterans in schools and our planet in order to finance their tax cuts for yachts and private jets. And the cheers to that. But
What about your friends in the Democratic Party, AOC? Because you know they're cheering for that too.
what we also saw was a generation of young people just starting to make cracks and ways into this system. For these folks, January 6th was just a dress rehearsal.
God damn. I'm sorry. I can't listen to any more of that. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm just throwing it out. That's all she's going to be harping on for a very long time. That's all that she will not let that go. January 6th. It was not the end all be all threat to democracy, okay? That thing called democracy died a long time ago. Jesus Christ, to keep bringing that up. January 6th. It's like you're in a fight with somebody you're about to break up and they keep on bringing this one thing. Like, that wasn't the thing. Stop bringing up January 6th. Okay? You want to talk about shaking up a system? Okay? Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon. Now, there was something that makes January 6th look like a walk in the park, okay? There's Napoleon Bonaparte going into Parliament and regulating on those bastards. Yeah, that's what you call a coup. Hey, you know, have you heard this guy called Lenin? Yeah, he wasn't messing around with the czarists, okay? Jesus, January 6th. Look, I'm sorry I forgot the milk. I won't ever do it again, AOC. Yeah? Just like how you forget about January 6th? Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get you a 6 months relationship card. Oh, yeah. Just like January 6th. Jesus Christ. She's going to keep on bringing it up. But hold on, folks. It gets worse than that. Here we go. Shout out again to Comrade Misty. Sarcasm Stardust. Or AOC, again, believes in freedom over fascism. No one should tell AOC how a guy named Adolf, last name Hitler, got into power. Him and his fantastic friends didn't get into the German government because of a coup. No one tell AOC this, but they were democratically elected in. Okay, just throwing it out there, AOC. But listen to her words.
Talk about progressive values. I can say what my progressive value is, and that is freedom over fascism.
Slay Queen. Unless.
I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. That is the line that I think we have to be willing to contend with.
I know AOC's voice is probably hurting everyone's brain cells, but hold on just a few more seconds.
Federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't.
And that is freedom over fascism.
Slay Queen. I guess AOC isn't taking accountability. Who's going to regulate what people can say and can't say? And the thing is, look, already looking at this election cycle that's going to be coming up, let's face it. Right now, Bernie, the big boy cuck Sanders, is all in for Biden. Hell, all the Democratic establishment is going in for Biden. We'll be talking about the Democratic primary and the polling numbers very soon. I think things are going to be doing a little twisty twist dance. Just a little bit of a twisty twist dance, right? Because, you know, things are changing. But AOC has yet to make her support or endorsement yet.
In 2024, if he even asked you to be a potential surrogate, because you do know how to rally, young people, mobilize them.
I unequivocally support our Democratic nominees. There's no question about that. The risks that our democracy are at right now are far too high. The President and I have our differences, but I think at the end of the day, we're very united in preventing the horrors of what re-electing Donald Trump or even someone like Ron DeSantis would pose to the country.
You know, when I had Sabrina on the show earlier this week, she said that there's a very good chance that Donald Trump can get reelected. And the thing is, I really can't push back against that because the thing is, I will not underestimate Trump. The Biden-Harris administration, the Democrats, not only have they crapped the bed, they've been continuously crapping in the bed for the past years in the Biden-Harris administration. The Democrats could very well lose this. Biden's not popular. Hell, Kamala Harris is not popular. Bernie Sanders cucked out quickly just to support his good friend Joe Biden, the segregationist good friend Joe Biden. Yeah, your good friend, Bernie. Same guy who never implemented any of your policies or demands. But that's the thing about AOC. She's going to be harping on January 6th and, stopping Trump. It will be very hilarious to me, from my perspective, if Trump does get reelected. Because you know what? AOC is going to be putting on those marching shoes again and get ready to see the best acting you've ever seen. Oh, no, the kids are in cages. Oh, no, student debt. Oh, no, all of this. And it's all fake. Do not hero worship these politicians. Break away from it. Don't vote Democrat. Don't vote Republican. Kshama Sawant is correct in her assessment of AOC.